some others that I've read. I think UG Krishnamurti. When the shift happened, it was very distressful and it was a huge breakdown. I think UG Krishnamurti described it as a catastrophe. Um, does it have to be? Some people have gone to like you went through like such suffering for years, and some people have gone through major physical. You know, it doesn't sound like for Cindy, it was something that was quite beautiful and wonderful. I didn't hear any pain in that, so I'm just wondering about that.
Yeah, yeah, good question. Yeah, Uji called it the calamity, didn't he? Yeah. Well, it is a calamity from the point of view of the personality because it's the end of the reign of the personality. And yes, you see the openings like Cindy's just described and the ones I had. In general, I would say they're like the bliss, the taste of bliss. They're the sudden freedom, the seeing beyond the suffering. So that's kind of the free gifts. That's the nice bit. um, and seriously, is it is dying before you die. It is. And because we've taken ourselves to be this personality with this, there is pain involved in the loss of that. And I don't think anybody can be protected from that. But the way it happens varies. With me, although, I worked on it and thought and for many, many years, when this hit, it was, as you know, it was the calamity. It was sudden, and it was like the floor went beneath me and bang, and suddenly the personality wasn't working. So it wasn't like that. It was kind of gradual so there didn't need to be that breaking down of functionality, although there has been an incredible sense of retreat that's needed to go through it. So, but in the end, the same thing is faced. So it's weird, isn't it? Because you get this taste of bliss and you get this sense of freedom in the openings and the awakenings. And then here I am talking about how difficult it can be. So there's the big test, you want to go on? And that's what sorts out the wheat from the chaff. Because if you turn around at this point, then it's not for you. It's obviously not for you. It's almost like the biggest test. Do you have any choice? Can you not continue? Can you say, yeah, I've had enough? Yeah. If you've passed the point of no return, then whatever it takes, you're willing to go through, and you really don't have a choice anymore anyway. I mean, I know overall you didn't ever anyway, but in the relative level, there is this sense of like, I don't have a choice in this anymore. I can't turn back, even though I may be scared or whatever may come up.
So, a question I have is so as you're letting go of the personality or not identifying with the personality, well, here's the question: is when you really get free of the personality, does the wound get healed in that, or does healing the wound lead to letting go of the personality?
What I've found is that identification with the personality dropping is that's the shift. After that, then anything, in fact, things can be shown up that you couldn't have even accessed before, including the wound. So in a way, that's the difference. Because you've had the shift, it's like the whole world, the underworld, as you could call it, it can be accessed and also dealt with. Because sometimes I think, if I hadn't had the shift, I'd be too freaked out, or I mean, I would know what to do, or so it kind of gives you the wherewithal to deal with whatever has to be seen in a way. So in a way, what I'm saying is that the shift is the thing, and then the healing really can begin. But I want to make it clear that it's not a like when I heal, I will be happy situation. It's not like that. It's more, you're here now, and whatever life deals you is what it deals you. And if it, we have a lot of history, and some things remain in the body and in the subtle bodies. And if the way it works is that they want to be healed, if that's the way life works, that's what happens. So it's not a kind of, oh, now I've got to heal my wound. It's like, if it needs to be healed, it will come up. Kind of what goes after the shift is the idea that life has to be a certain way. The personality is very involved in, when I get this, I'll be happy, and I've got to make this happen. And I will say that it just becomes a kind of unfolding of what is. And there can still be suffering in that, but as I've just said, there can be a lot of suffering in it. But because of this different perspective, it's kind of different. But there isn't that resistance. We go around, the personality does this to pain. That's its job, right? The flinch and the contraction from it, and just get around it, get past it as quick as you can. And that's something that kind of goes, which is odd. You could say it's odd, but I guess because something in you knows that this is what's happening and this is okay. Because it's happening, it's okay. Because it's happening is what needs to happen. So the one that edited life and says, I don't want to go there, is the one that's kind of, even if it's there, it's turned right down. You can still say, God, I wish I didn't have to feel this, but there's something in you that just allows you to feel it. And I recognize that when I talked about my breakdown, that's what happened in my relationship to the breakdown, that I got to a point where I was not flinching from it. I was diving into it and not constricting around it.